Live from the 412, it's Platts Point of View, y'all. Let's go. What's up, everybody? I'm Platt, and this is Platts Point of View, where I give you my opinion on sports locally and nationally. We honor the old school and new school in our old school, new school segment, and I also profile high school kids in our high school spotlight. We got some good kids to talk about later. And also later on, I'll tell you who needs to turn up and get lit. So let's get started. The NBA playoffs. For the first time since 2015, the second round of the NBA postseason does not feature the NBA defending champs. The LA Lakers were defeated by the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers have 17 titles, so do the Celtics, who also lost in the first round to the Brooklyn Nets. None of the teams left have more than 3 championships to their name. No Steph Curry, no LeBron James. This playoffs feels kind of different. It feels like it's like a changing of the guard. The second round is underway, so here's my thoughts. Start off with Philly versus Atlanta. Atlanta, you guys have a star being born right in front of your eyes. I'm talking about point guard Trae Young, who averaged 30 points a game, 9 assists last series against the Knicks. And he had Madison Square Garden quiet like a library. You hear me? I can't lie. Coming out of Oklahoma, I knew Trae Young was good with range way beyond the three-point line. He was a heck of a passer, but I did not expect this. It's amazing. Nobody expected Atlanta to be here. They have a nice blend of young talent, and they're a very tremendous shooting offensive team. As for Philly, I think Joel Embiid will dominate this series, but I don't think it'll be enough because I don't think Philly shoots the ball good enough from the perimeter to overcome ATL shooting. Trae Young is coming. Beware. The Atlanta Hawks in 7 games. The next series, the Brooklyn Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Shooting guard of the Milwaukee Bucks, Chris Middleton, he was shooting bricks in Brooklyn. They said they seen him on Nostrand Ave building a house with all those bricks. But he seemed to find his comfort zone at home recently. The Bucks, they must step up to the challenge if they want to win this series. Jrue Holiday, he must be solid. Role players like Bobby Portis, Brooks Lopez, PJ Tucker, they must play better. The good thing about this is since these teams has played this season, the home team has won every single game. As for Brooklyn, the big three, they're always spectacular. Man, let's just hope James Harden has a speedy recovery because I want to see him back. I've kind of gone back and forth with this series. And, I'm kind of on the mend, but I'll tell you at the end. But Blake Griffin, he seems to have found his game since arriving in Brooklyn, y'all. But I don't trust him or DeAndre Jordan to defend in space. Jordan, he hasn't even been getting no playing time. But I don't trust those guys to defend in space. The Bucks, they must exploit this weakness, and they have so far at times. This has been a fun series to watch so far. And I just got a funny feeling the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis, they will not go away easy. Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. To the Western Conference, you got the LA Clippers versus the Utah Jazz. After barely surviving their series with the Dallas Mavericks, LA now has to deal with the number 1 seed Utah Jazz. The Jazz, like the Dallas Mavericks, they love pick and roll basketball. The Jazz run the play to perfection. Sound familiar? To Stockton Malone. But the Clippers have a bunch of perimeter defenders to deal with the likes of Ingles, Mitchell, Bogdanovich, Clarkson, and the crew. Conley and Mitchell, they can't bully Pat Beverly like Luka Doncic did last series. The Clippers also have the perimeter shooting to draw big Rudy Gobert away from the basket where he's most effective. The LA Clippers, they must lock in defensively or the Jazz will hit threes on them all night long. And they're starting to. Utah shot 40% from three-point range in the regular season. My man, playoff P, Paul George, you got to step it up, baby. He's too talented to be playing mediocre. Kawhi Leonard, he's probably the best player on either team, and Utah has very few players to guard you. I also think Kawhi will elevate his game and play smothering defense, which will be the difference in this series. The Clippers in 7 games. It's going to be a hard-fought series. The next series in the Western Conference, you got the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. Denver head coach Mike Malone deserves mad props for holding his team together. Despite the circumstances due to so many injuries and COVID protocols and whatnot, the Nuggets are a very resilient team. Jokic has a good number 2 scoring option in forward Michael Porter Jr., who's emerging into a star. It would have been nice to see Jamal Murray in this series, but even without him, the Nuggets have plenty of options. The Phoenix Suns, on the other hand, they're a team with a nice blend of veteran leadership and youth. They seem hungry. They seem very hungry, like they ready to bite somebody's arm off. People forget this Suns team was undefeated in the NBA bubble last summer, and they didn't even have Chris Paul yet. So it carried over to this season, plus good coaching by Monty Williams and his staff. I like Monty Williams. Shooting guard Devin Booker is a star in the making. He destroyed the Los Angeles Lakers last round. Chris Paul, he's a leader. Center DeAndre Ayton is no slouch either, and it seems he's improving every single game. Phoenix ain't playing with. They're not playing with nobody. They're not playing with y'all. Suns in 5. Next on the menu, we got a WNBA. The WNBA recently started its 25th season. The league is loaded with mad talent. It's very competitive to make a roster on each of the 12 teams. The WNBA has returned to home arenas after being in the bubble last season. The Seattle Storm, they're the defending champs, and they will be searching for their 3rd title in 4 years. Here's a couple quick thoughts, a couple predictions, WNBA. WNBA MVP, you got to go with Seattle star Breanna Stewart. She's currently averaging 21 points a game and 9 rebounds. The WNBA Finals MVP in 2018 and 2020 last season looks like a force to be reckoned with again, and the girl is just so skilled. She's tough. As far as WNBA champions, let's go with the Las Vegas Aces. They have reigning WNBA MVP Asia Wilson and 6'8" All-Star Liz Cambridge, who opted out last year, but she's back, and they form a nice 1-2 combination. WNBA players to watch, you ask? Start off with Candace Parker, Chicago Sky. She's the reigning WNBA Defensive Player of the Year. Chicago has a bunch of talent on its roster, and Parker is the centerpiece of the team in her hometown. She's back home in Chicago, and Parker should have them contending. Next up, you got the hot shot stud, Sabrina Ionescu, New York Liberty. She's gotten off to a scorching hot start this season. She's currently averaging 17 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. This girl is tough. Ionescu. And last but not least, Tiffany Hayes of the Atlanta Dream. She's currently averaging 18 points a game and 3 rebounds. She was a 2020 opt-out, and she's back with a vengeance this season. She's providing a boost so far this season. If she could get back to her 2018 All-WNBA first team and WNBA All-Defensive second team game, ATL could make some noise this season. Stay tuned. Tiffany Hayes is a baller. Switch gears to the NBA. NBA draft profile. Shooting guard Jalen Green, 6'6", 180 pounds, G League team Ignite. His G League stats this past year, he averaged 18 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 46% from the floor. He was a 36% three-point shooter. Green was the number 1 ranked high school prospect in ESPN's Top 100 2020 class. This talented two-guard had offers from all over the country before deciding to forego his college eligibility and start his journey to the NBA as the top dog of the G League's new developmental team. Jalen Green is a pure scorer who can get to the hoop in a variety of ways. He's a very explosive athlete with crazy leaping ability. Green is a streaky shooter, but he has a ton of moves that helps him create his own shot. Jalen Green is a certified scorer, and it should continue on the NBA level. Now it's old school, new school time, folks.
Old school, new school, youngest take notice. Old school, new school, youngest take notice. Old school, new school, youngest take notice. Old school, new school, y'all.
Old school. I'm talking about Joe Carter, outfielder, first baseman, 5-time Major League All-Star, Major League Baseball All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner in 1991 and 1992, American League RBI leader 1986, and he's part of the Toronto Blue Jays level of excellence. He was a 2003 inductee into the Baseball Hall of Fame. His career numbers, Batting average 259, 2,184 hits, 396 home runs, 4,014, and 45 RBIs. Joe Carter is best known for hitting a walk-off home run to win the 1993 World Series for the Toronto Blue Jays, which was their second consecutive championship. Joe Carter is one of only 2 players to end a World Series with a home run. Great Bill Mazeroski is the other, in case you guys were wondering. Carter played for 6 teams during his Major League Baseball career: the Chicago Cubs, Cleveland, San Diego, Baltimore, San Francisco, and most notably, the Toronto Blue Jays. Joe Carter was a gamer. As far as new school, Simone Biles, the gymnast, Simone Biles. Simone Biles is one of the greatest Olympic gymnasts ever. Biles already has 4 gold medals and 1 bronze medal to her name. This summer in Tokyo, Simone Biles looks to add to that total. That girl is amazing. Oh, she's tough. Next up, you got a 2022 NFL Draft top prospects. With the 2021 NFL Draft in the books, it's never too early to talk 2022 NFL Draft. Here's some top prospects to watch. You talk about Sam Howell, 6'1", 220 North Carolina quarterback. Sam Howell has about, coming to this season, 68 touchdowns, 68 touchdown passes to 14 inners. He's completing 64% of his passes. He has 9 300-yard passing games, and so far he's thrown for over 7,000 yards in his first 2 seasons as a starter for North Carolina. Some scouts compare him to Baker Mayfield. He has great deep ball accuracy, and he's projected by some as to be the number 1 pick in the draft. We'll see. With improved accuracy on his intermediate routes, Sam Howell could very well be the number 1 pick in the draft next year. Stay tuned. Another guy, defensive tackle, DeMarvin Leal, Texas A&M, 6'4", 290. Leal is probably the most athletic D lineman in the country. He's a heck of a run stopper and has a non-stop motor. He should get a lot of sacks this season with his straightforward, strong interior pressure. He was pretty much unstoppable late in the season last year for the Texas A&M Aggies. Next up, you got a quarterback, Keaton Slovis out of USC. I love Keaton Slovis, 6'3", 215. He's an excellent quarterback. Since Pete Carroll left USC in 2010, USC has done a horrible job preparing passers for the NFL. But I think Keaton Slovis will be different. Like I said, he's very accurate. He's completing 70% of his passes. He has good athleticism for a pocket passer. He runs a 4.7. He throws a nice deep ball. He has nice touch, and he has good anticipation. So far for his career, he has 47 touchdowns and 16 inners. I like Keaton Slovis a lot. Another guy, defensive end outside linebacker, Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon, about 6'4", 250 pounds. He was one of the top recruits of the 2019 class. He was the number 1 prospect coming out of the state of California, and he has not disappointed. He was the Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year, and he was the MVP of the 2020 Pac-12 Championship. This kid has unreal athleticism. He's a vicious pass rusher. So far in his career, he has 23.5 tackles for loss, and he has 12 sacks in 20 games the last 2 seasons. Straight pass rushing demon. Remember the name. Got a sleeper for y'all, too. 2022 NFL draft sleeper, quarterback Malik Willis out of Liberty. He's about 6'1", 215 pounds. This former Auburn commit transferred to Liberty and has emerged as a legit NFL quarterback prospect. Last season, Willis had 20 touchdowns to 6 inners. He had over 2,200 yards passing. He also ran for over 900 yards with 14 rushing touchdowns. Willis is an elite athlete with amazing arm talent, and he has off-script scrambling ability. It seems like every year a quarterback comes out of nowhere and shoots up the draft board. 2 years ago, it was Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming. This past season, it was Trey Young, North Dakota State. A few years ago, it was Carson Wentz, North Dakota State. This upcoming season, it'll be Malik Willis out of Liberty. Watch out. Next up, let's go to our high school spotlight. Shout out to Penn Trafford Jr., soon-to-be senior, Troy Hoffman, who recently committed to NC State for wrestling. Hogman is a two-time PIAA qualifier who finished 4th in the state this year. As a wrestler, he has a record of 26-6 this past season. And for his career, he has a record of 68 wins and 30 losses heading into his senior season. Good luck, Hogman. Good luck, man, at Penn Trafford. Another kid I'm going to give a shout-out to, William Ray out of Central Catholic. He's a baseball player. He's an outfielder. He plays first base, third base. He's about 6'1", 185 pounds. William Ray is a talented left-handed hitter who has a very strong arm, and he's a good outfielder. He can play multiple positions, but he's best as an outfielder. Prep Baseball Service recently clocked him at a 7'3", 60-yard dash with an arm of 92 miles per hour from the outfield. Ray has a short, compact swing that gives him a big shift into contact. He has good power and good bat speed to drive the ball deep in the outfield. He's also a good student with a GPA of 4.0. He committed to play baseball at the University of Wake Forest and further his education. Good luck, Ray. Good luck. Next up, you got a Perry Page out of Shore Valley, women's hooper. She's a guard. She's about 6 feet. Page averaged a double-double, 15 points per game, 11 rebounds. She's the daughter of former Pitt basketball standout Julius Page, but nowadays she's making a name for herself. Her first 2 years, she helped Shortiers Valley go undefeated with a 57-0 record and back-to-back WPIAL basketball championships. Page was second-team All-State 5A. Page is a versatile guard with excellent rebounding skills. Page had offers from St. Bonaventure, Duquesne, Lafayette, Columbia, and Boston University. Page decided to further her education and basketball career at the University of Columbia, which is Ivy League. Good luck, Page. Good luck. Gatorade recently named its 2021 National High School Gatorade Football Player of the Year. His name is quarterback Jackson Dart. 6'3", 215 pounds, out of Corner Canyon High School in Draper, Utah. For the season, he threw for 4,691 yards. He had 67 touchdown passes, 79 total touchdowns, leading Corner Canyon High School to a 14-0 record and a 6A state title. Dart became the 36th winner of the award. The award has previously been won by the likes of Kyler Murray, Peyton Manning, and Emmitt Smith, just to name a few. Dart also was a helping hand in his community during the pandemic by volunteering locally for food banks and clothing drafts. He's also a good student with a 3.9 GPA. He graduated a semester early, and he's already enrolled at USC, where he will continue his academic and athletic career. This fall, Dart will battle for the backup quarterback job as a true freshman in 2021 at the University of Southern California. Good luck, all you guys. High school spotlight. Next up, there's still a lot of NFL players that are unsigned, and I'm just a little bit worried. I'm wondering what's going on. It's getting closer to training camp, and there's still some quality players that remain unsigned. Here's a few. You got a former Charger outside linebacker, Melvin Ingram. Some people say Ingram's aggressive, ferocious playing style has led to him being injured a lot. He's missed 12 games since 2019. Yet, he's still a force at outside linebacker, and he could bring a nasty attitude upgrade to a team that needs an outside linebacker. Good luck, Melvin Ingram. I hope you find a home. It's crazy how you're just unsigned right now. Next up, my man, cornerback Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman's 1 year removed from a late career second-team NFL All-Pro. He's still a very smart, reliable cornerback for a team, and I think he'll bring leadership to the locker room. And he has very good instincts. He has a very high football IQ. Somebody sign Richard Sherman, man. He still got something left in the tank. Next up, you got offensive tackle Mitchell Schwartz, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs. This guy made first or second team All-Pro in 4 consecutive seasons before missing 2020 with a back injury. Pretty sure he can help out a team's offensive line. Steelers. Next up, running back Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson's a free agent. He's one of the better third down backs. He can help your team ASAP. I just can't believe he's unsigned, man. He's a little nice scat back. He can give you about 10 carries, catch about 6 balls. Somebody signed Duke Johnson. Another kid, this is a local guy, safety Malik Hooker out of Newcastle. This Newcastle native is coming off a torn ACL. Malik Hooker is a strong, athletic, rangy safety who can play free safety or strong safety. If he's healthy, this guy's a baller. Come on, Steelers, sign this guy, man. Sign him, please. Next on the menu, the Pittsburgh Pirates. A total joke. Look at this. Look at this play, man. We're the laughing stock of Major League Baseball. All he got to do is touch the bag. Touch the bag. Touch the bag. You talk about bloopers. I just feel so sorry. It's a shame. Come on, Pittsburgh Pirates. You got to step your game up. Look at this play. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look, they're laughing. We're the laughing stock of the Major League Baseball. Next up, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pittsburgh Pens have 3 of the best hockey players in the world, but yet another disappointing season. Another first-round exit to a team I clearly thought the Pens were better than. Goaltending was horrible. Goalie Tristan Jarry was bad and pretty much the main reason for 3 of the 4 losses versus the New York Islanders. Has the Pittsburgh Penguins championship window closed? Not sure. But anyway, Chris Letang, he was probably the best Pens player in the playoffs. He had 6 points in 6 playoff games. Sid Crosby, he's still one of the top players in the NHL. I just think he needs a better supporting cast, and goaltending must be the #1 priority in the offseason. Come on, Penguins, get it together. Boxing. This whole month in June, there's some good boxing matches. You got my man Shakur Stevenson fighting, Desmond Reyes, Lomachenko, they all fight this month. Tune in. This should be some good fights. Hopefully you get to see somebody get knocked out. It's time to turn up and get lit, baby. Let's go.
It's time to turn up and get lit, man, for real. Turn up and get lit.
Paul George and Kawhi Leonard of the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers are down in the series once again, and both stars are being outplayed by the other team's star player. Kawhi and Paul George, you guys haven't been bad, but neither of you were the best player on the floor as many expected. And both of you guys are supposed to be difference makers. Paul George, 32% from three-point range in the playoffs, costly turnovers late in the game. That won't cut it, playoff P. Kawhi and Paul George, it's time to step up. It's time to turn up and get lit. Match the Jazz intensity. Both of you guys are way too talented. I got faith in y'all, and I said that you guys are going to win in 7. So make me look like a genius. Turn up and get lit. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Let's go. And I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of Platts Point of View. Everybody have a good day. God bless. Take it easy.
CJ on the